everyone, welcome to my channel. Today let's discuss about clauses. What are clauses? Clauses are a type of sentences. But what kind of sentences are called clauses? We have read already 4 types of sentences: declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, and exclamatory sentence. But now there is another type of sentence. You are telling that clauses. What kind of sentences are called clauses? I need your few minutes and I will clear your doubts. Let us see the definition. A clause is a group of words that links together 2 sentences into one, or forms 2 parts of a sentence linked together by a conjunction. Here the dog barks is a clause. When the postman arrives is another clause. Here when the postman arrives is linked to the dog barks, and these 2 sentences are linked by when. This is the word conjunction, and this word links 2 sentences. So this is a clause. Let us see the explanation. Clauses are group of words or phrases which consist of finite verb and a subject in a sentence. This verb and subject are connected that express a certain relationship between them. But a clause is not merely a group of words, it is a group of words that conveys the actions of a subject or what the subject is. The clause can often but not always exist as an independent sentence having some definite meaning. So see the example. When they see red flag, all the cars stop when they see red flag. When they see red flag, this is a clause. It's a group of words with finite verb and subject, and this subject expresses this whole clause expresses the subject here. Remember, a clause can be a part of a simple or complex sentence, and similarly a sentence can have single or multiple clauses. A boy who went to my school on the lottery. So here a boy on the lottery who went to my school. Here 2 clauses are there. One is independent clause, another is dependent clause. Anyway, but in one sentence there are multiple clauses. There are so many clauses, more than 1 clauses. Clauses can be of the following types: main clause, subordinate clause, and conditional clause. Let us discuss main clause, what is subordinate clause, and what is conditional clause. One by one we shall discuss. The main clause. The main clause, also known as an independent or principal clause, is a part of the sentence that can exist independently as a meaningful and a complete sentence. For example, I love eating brownies. Stephen loves painting. So these 2 are simple sentences and they are independent clauses. They don't depend upon any other sentence in order to become the meaningful sentence. They stand on their own. Let's see another example. The sky was clear and we could see our way. This is a complex sentence consisting of 2 sentences. The sky was clear and we could see our way. These 2 sentences are also independent clauses, though they are connected by and, but they stand complete on their own. More explanation, let us see. These 2 parts of the sentences are called clauses and are classified as main clauses as they represent a distinct sentence on their own. In other words, is sentence that can stand by itself and make perfect sense. They stand on their own and make perfect sense on its own can be called main clause. See the example below. She is a kind woman. Did you complete your work? I have checked all your notes. So these three sentences are independent sentences and they give complete sense and perfect sense on their own. Let's see the subordinate clause. The subordinate clause is also known as dependent clause. It is clear from the name itself that it is known to be dependent on a sentence. You can understand that they are dependent clauses or they are dependent on the another sentence to be complete. It cannot make sense as a complete sentence on its own. Therefore, subordinate clause cannot exist independently and always needs another set of words to complete it. The subordinate clause must be combined with an independent clause to form a complete sentence. Let's see the example. When I grow old, this is a subordinate clause. To form a complete sentence, it needs to be changed to something like this. When I grow old, I want to travel the world. In this sentence, I want to travel the world is completely independent clause and it can stand on its own and give complete full sentence, full meaning, full sense. But when I grow old, this is incomplete and it has to depend upon this the main clause when I want to travel the world. So this is subordinate clause. The subordinate clauses are given below. Let us see. When I was reading the park, I had an epiphany. So when I was reading in the park, this is subordinate clause. I had an epiphany. This is the main clause. This particular when I was reading in the park, this particular clause has to depend upon this main clause to become the complete. I know about the person who stole your bike. Who stole your bike is the subordinate clause because it cannot stand on its own to be complete. It has to depend upon this main sentence to become complete. She is quite talented, though she is out of practice. She is quite talented. This is main clause. It can stand independently on its own. Though she is out of practice, this one has to depend upon this main sentence to give the complete sense. These subordinate clauses can be of three types: noun clause, adjective clause, and adverbial clause. In the next class, we shall discuss about the subordinate clauses and types of subordinate clauses. The last one, the third type, the conditional clause. It is a clause that expresses a certain thing dependent on the main clause. Certain thing dependent on the main clause. That is, what is being expressed by the conditional clause depends on the presence of the main clause in the sentence. Thus, the impact of the main or the principal clause depends on the subordinate clause being used. Let's see the example. If you fall down the stairs, you get hurt. So this particular sentence is a condition. The milk boils if it is heated. This particular clause is the conditional clause. This thing, if it is heated, this particular thing is dependent on the main clause. Same, you pass the exam if you attempt all questions. Only if you attempt all questions you pass the exam. So this certain thing is dependent on the main clause. So this is what is conditional clause. My dear students, we have successfully discussed about the clauses, main clause, subordinate clause and conditional clause. We shall discuss about the subordinate clause in the next class. For more contents, like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.